Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So here we are on day 2 of picking a life principle card for the day and having that be your focus, your inspiration for the day as we look at how do we create a framework for evolving ourselves. And, I was thinking a little bit about yesterday about, what to say today and what this really is about. And, who I'm talking to are those of you who've done a lot of spiritual development, personal growth. You've been on the journey. I have too. I started, 30 years ago. And what is it that is driving us forward is this longing for something that who we can become. And so we've looked at all of these different modalities, spiritual traditions, religions, all of it, and it's gotten us to this point. But here's my question to you. Are you where you want to be? Do you wake up in the morning absolutely filled with appreciation and gratitude, with a baseline of joy, where you are walking through life completely in unconditional respect, deep listening, presence? Is that where you are at right now? And if you're not there, then maybe there is an opportunity, this field of possibilities, that we can actually make another leap. But it requires us, this is one of the things that I've been really feeling into, this notion of spiritual humility. I have found that, those who show up basically feeling like they've got it licked, they've made it, I know what spiritual development is, I know who we are and all that, they don't progress as far or as fast. It's the ones that say, okay, everything that I've done have gotten me to this moment in time. And now I'm willing to lay everything that I know aside to make another leap in my awareness. And I spoke to this yesterday. We are at the beginning of this journey. We have been an asleep species that is slowly waking up. And yes, the jump from 3% to 6% awake is monumental, is 100% more awake, and it feels like we've got it now. We understand everything, but it's 6% awake. And we have so much more to go. And after awake comes aware, and then conscious and intelligence. We have this magnificent journey in front of us. And so the question is, what can we now bring into our awareness to help us make this next evolutionary step? And so for me personally, the work we've been doing and the life principles have created this framework that allows me to have something to stand on and to practice with, and then to reach into the future, in towards the self you are becoming, and bringing back the qualities here. And it is possible to do that, rather than longing towards something unknowable. No, we can actually reach into that future and say, who do I want to become, and what is the framework that I want to stand on? And so that's what I'm, gifting here in these 21 days until the end of December, just to give you a taste of what these life principles can do on that journey. And so here are the cards. And so what I'm doing is basically, I have no idea which card we will pick. I'm letting the collective energy hold the question, which card, which understanding would be most valuable today to help me, to help us in our next evolutionary step. So here we go. Here we're picking our card. All right. Joy. All right, joy. Interesting. You know, I'm trying not to prepare too much for these, but you know, I couldn't help myself. You know, yesterday and this morning, just as like, well, what if we pick this, or what if we pick that? And joy was actually one that came up, and so I just want to read, you know, just a couple of sentences of joy, of the joy principle. You know, so this is the write-up that goes with each principle. It's like, never let your joy be bound and gagged. That alive, spirited part of you needs its freedom today. Drawing this principle, you want to first understand that joy is a force that is all around you. Joy is that one force and the only energy there is. Joy gets stepped down by negative thoughts, but when you give yourself permission to feel the one and only force around you, joy is how it feels. So in terms of your practice today, and what I invite you to focus on is this notion that really there is only one force, in one energy in this reality, and that everything else is stepped down, is compressed, is more dense than that joy. Just let yourself open up to that possibility that whatever you're looking at right now, whatever you're feeling inside, if you woke up and you felt off, if your brain was chattering, if you had some fear in your solar plexus, if you were contracted, not feeling all that well, if you can actually step back and see that as all it is compressed joy, and that we can actually uncompress it back to joy, that is one of the most profound empowerment understandings you can have. See, we feel a lot of times that we're victim to our emotions, that we're victim to whatever is coming at us from the external environment. Somebody's yelling at us, somebody's angry, something happens to us, you know, and we start, you know, feeling like we're victims. But when you can understand that ultimately you have the ability to decompress everything to its original energy with just joy, you can start taking back your life. And so here's what I invite you to do today. First of all, number one is just practice that understanding. Everything I'm seeing, everything I'm experiencing has one underlying force, and that is joy. And my entire day, I am going to focus on finding that underlying energy and finding that joy. So, okay, so I'm feeling irritated right now. Okay, irritation is compressed joy. So now I'm using my perception, which is your only power tool you have, really, your perception, to decompress that irritation back to its original form of joy. And make it a treasure hunt today. Find the joy in everything that you're seeing. See, one of the things that I do in my coaching calls a lot, one of the most empowering things I help people to do is to step from the myopic micro view of our lives back into macro view. If you can pull back from what's happening right here, right now, and it's also contracted and reactive, when you can actually step outside of that and pull back into a macro view, of what's going on, that's when you can hook into these kinds of understandings that, for instance, joy is underlying everything. And then you can start taking control back over your life. If you keep living life just right here in that myopicness, there's no way you can take control back over your life. So practice pulling back, and that requires presence. And you'll hear me talk about presence a lot in these next few days, in these next few, 21 days. It requires you to be in presence and in self-awareness of what's going on, and then making that choice to step back. So that's your practice today, is find the joy in everything, no matter what it is that you're looking at. Find the underlying force, the underlying energy around everything. So that is our day 2 inspiration. And if there's anything that comes up, any questions, anything that you would like me to address in one of these calls, please pop it underneath the video, and I will weave it into these next few weeks with you. So please do that, and I wish you a joyful day today. Find that joy, and share with me what happened, if you were able to shift out of a myopic situation into joy. Share that. I would love to hear that. Okay, with that, I'm signing off, and have a joyful, wonderful, magnificent day. Bye, everybody.